Hi, welcome to another review by P. Shog, and today's review is on the Kitty Norville Series by Carrie Vaughn. So currently there is 8 books in this series, and the 9th one is out this month in June, and each title of the book has the word Kitty in it. So Kitty takes a holiday, or Kitty on the midnight hour. And basically it's about Kitty, and she has a radio talk show where she kind of helps the supernatural world deal with their problems, and she just chats to them, and she happens to be a werewolf, and at the beginning no one knows this, but she's talking to her listeners, and basically over the course of the books we see Kitty get into kind of a different situation in each book relating to the supernatural world and to her lycanthropy, is that how you pronounce it, and her friendships and the trouble she gets into. And I enjoyed these books. I enjoyed the series. I like how the author spends more time writing about Kitty's human self, her humanity, which I like. Like, a lot of authors spend a lot of the time writing about how she gets on as a wolf, running around and what she's thinking, and in these books the wolf is also written in the third person, which I've never read before, and the author doesn't spend too long writing about the wolf's adventures, which is good. Kitty, she seems like a really sweet and cute kind of character. Like, people describe her as kind of sweet and cute, and she's blonde, and she's 5'6", which in my eyes is really tall, because I'm 5 foot now and that's small. So if I was 5'6", I'd feel like I was supermodel tall. But besides that, she has a really endearing, talkative nature, and that's like kind of one of her thing, that she's just extremely talkative, and I like that. I love the author's writing of the dialogue between Kitty and her listeners on the radio show. It's really witty and clever, and she never runs out of topics. And you can really tell the author is quite intelligent in how she picks her material. I was actually really surprised by the lycanthrope relationships in these books. Like in other werewolf books I read, there's always that submissive dominance thing, but in this one it was quite extreme. It was verging on abusive between Kitty and Carl, the kind of pack leader, and like, they really wanted her to be helpless, and it was interesting to read, but it like surprised me as well. At the beginning, I was really interested by these books, and I really loved the story, and I liked the character. But for some reason they like lack this spark. Like, there's good pace and there's a good story in each book, and I was kept interested, but there was just something missing, and I wasn't really excited to continue reading. And I think there was just something missing, especially around the middle, or maybe one of the later books. It just needed something extra, and I think, which I'll discuss in more of the spoiler review, that thing missing was a certain character. And so, I mean, I wouldn't give it, this series, a 10 out of 10, but it was better than average. It was better than a lot of series I've read, and so I'd put it between 5 and 10, so probably about 7. So the author does try to make things a bit different, because there are a lot of werewolf series out there now. It's almost as common as the vampires, so you have to keep things different and interesting, and I do think there is an element of that with this series, so I do appreciate that. So I do recommend them. I do think people should check them out, and if they find that they like the first one, they should continue reading, because the others, the quality kind of stays relatively consistent. So I do recommend them, and check them out. So now I'm going to move on to a more spoiler-filled review. So if you don't want to know any spoilers, please switch off now. Okay, so as I said, I really liked Kitty as a character. It was amazing to see her change from book 1 to 8. Like, she becomes this really courageous and person, and a leader, and she's kind of like the leader of her own pack, which was miles from the person from the first book, who was so helpless and dependent on Carl and other people in the pack. I loved how Ben described her when he said that Cormac, this like really tough, stoic Cormac was smitten with her because she was brave yet whiny. And I really loved that description because that's exactly her. Like, I hate when characters fall too much towards either one. So I like when they have a nice balance. So she is brave, but she also kind of is whiny. So there is that kind of an endearing element to her. The most interesting thing, and I suppose the most interesting relationship about these books for me, was between Kitty and Cormac. Now at the beginning, like, even when one caller said, "Oh, are you going to get with Cormac?" and Kitty's like, "Why? He just tried to kill me." I was feeling the same as Kitty, like, is she crazy? But I really loved reading about how, like, their relationship developed and his kind of like the way he slowly grew more friendly with her and concerned. And I kind of relished their scenes together, their cute scenes. And like, they were so different, which made them just like a really compelling match. And the third book was definitely my favourite because it has most of their scenes in it. Yeah, before I knew it, I was like, actually I really like these two together. I hope they do get together. And then the author makes her biggest mistake in the whole series by getting rid of Cormac. What a waste of a potentially great character. I mean, it's not like it's a TV show and they lost the actor. The author could have changed his prison sentence anytime she wanted. And I understand putting him in prison maybe for one book would make it a lot more suspenseful. But he was in jail for 4 books, and that was just too long. I mean, him and Kitty were like the most interesting thing there, and then she just puts him in jail. I don't understand the author's reasoning for this. Like, Ben, he's nice, but he's not really exciting. And Ben and Kitty together, I was really surprised how their relationship progressed. Like, they were married, like, first they were together properly, and then they were engaged, and then they were married, and I was like, when did this happen? Like, Cormac was meant to come back before they got married, and she was meant to get with Cormac, so I was really disappointed at that. And yeah, I mean, luckily when I read this series, I had all the 8 books to read, so I wasn't waiting years for Cormac to be released from prison. So I was lucky that way. I feel sorry for the people who actually have to wait for each book to be released and keep reading through it. Oh, is he going to be releasing this book? No, he's not. So he came back anyway in book 8, and it was the most underwhelming, like, kind of return ever. They didn't get together. I mean, he has a ghost living in him, which is weird. So yeah, I was very underwhelmed by his return then, and it was just disappointing. And I just really hope for the next book, the 9th book, that they do get together and hopefully make it a bit more exciting. Because as I said earlier, like, this series is good, but it's missing something extra special to make it brilliant. And I think that thing would have been Kitty and Cormac, but it's the author's own fault. So hopefully the 9th book will have some kind of forbidden romance between them two. I don't know, something good, something great that the series needs. One thing I do think that the author should do, if I was the author, I'd do this. You know, Kitty had her miscarriage, and she found out that werewolves can't have children because they change every month. And I think it would be interesting if she found out she was pregnant, maybe from Cormac, and she had a week until the full moon, and she had to figure out a way to keep the baby because she realised she actually does want the baby. Something interesting like that would be great, I think. But we'll see. So I hope you do check it out and let me know what you think of it. And in the meantime, if you have any other recommendations, please let me know. So that's Kitty Norville by Carrie Vaughn. Just a side note, June or end of May is a great month for books because I've been waiting for the Cassandra Palmer series book 5 for 2 years. So it's finally out this week, which I'm very excited about. And the Kate Daniels book 5 I've been waiting a year for, and that was out last week, and I have it on my computer all ready to be read. I think I should relish it though, because usually I get a book read in like a day or 2, so I feel like I should spread it out, but when I'm so into a book I can't stop reading it. So we'll see what will happen with those. I'll keep you updated. So thanks very much for watching, and tune in next time.